My dear brothers and sisters, young people have a lot of energy. They like to do something adventurous. And many young people like to go for hikes and treks. We see this also in our youth groups. They enjoy going for hiking up the mountain, up the hill. They enjoy. I read a book recently, a book by Adele Gonzalez. The name of the book is Spirituality of a Community. And in this book, Adele Gonzalez, she makes mention of a specific incident that happened in her life. She thought of going for a hike and trek with her family. The family was excited about going for this hike. They thought of going up the hill and enjoying themselves. So Adele too decided to go along with them. She was very happy, very excited. But there was something that Adele had not told her family members. She had her problem with her toe. There was an ingrown nail in her toe, okay? And this was troubling her sometimes. But she thought that would not make much of a difference. It would be no problem. So she put on her hiking boots and she went with her family up the hill. And as they were going about trekking, hiking up the hill, Adele's ingrown toenail began to give trouble. The toe started paining. It started throbbing. It was very painful. And because of this, Adele's speed became less. She could not keep pace with the other family members. The children and the youth who were there in the family, they started getting very much frustrated and restless. And they started grumbling. And Adele realized it and she was feeling so bad. But what could she do? Her toenail was hurting and that was why she could not move much. And then her brother told her, let us wait a little. And he asked her to take off her boot, made her sit on the hillside. And he took out his pen knife and made a small hole in her boot, in her shoe, made a small hole for the toe to come out. And as Adele put back her shoe, the toe came out of that hole. And it was looking a little awkward, but now as she was walking along with her family, as she was hiking and trekking, though her leg was looking a little awkward with the toe out, it was not troubling her anymore. She could walk very comfortably. My dear friends, when she makes mention of this incident in that book, it's very interesting how she narrates it to our day-to-day lives. There are sometimes people who trouble us, people who make life difficult. But when we can manage these people with a little of understanding, with a little of forgiveness, things can become much better. Things can become much better. This is the advice that we have also in today's gospel, where Jesus is making a mention of forgiveness. He's teaching us the prayer to call on God, our Father, such a beautiful prayer. And after that, Jesus is speaking about forgiveness, that we need to forgive one another. If you forgive others, God will forgive you. If you do not forgive others, God will not forgive you. That's what Jesus is saying. My dear friends, today we need to forgive. Today we need to let go. Sometimes situations are painful. We have our crosses. We have our difficult moments. But when we forgive and when we let go, life becomes beautiful. Sometimes we break our head over these people when actually we can just surrender them to the Lord and the Lord gives us the strength. We have come here to venerate Saint Anthony and we are in the Lenten season. And today there's also another special occasion for us to celebrate. My dear brothers and sisters, when we speak about Our Lady of Fatima, we often think about Lucia, the visionary to whom Our Lady of Fatima appeared. But there were two other children along with her, Jacinta and Francisco. And today we remember both these children. We celebrate their sainthood. Jacinta, she died today. This was the day of her death. And we remember their sainthood today, Jacinta and Francisco. I want to tell you something about this boy, Francisco. He was very cool and calm. And that was what really is an inspiration for us today. And he used to enjoy playing games. This young boy, 8 years old boy, he used to enjoy playing games, but he never really insisted on winning. And there's an incident told by Lucia. They were once playing, and that time Francisco showed his friends a handkerchief that somebody had gifted him. A beautiful handkerchief with a picture of Our Lady. And this handkerchief was being passed child to child, and all the children were looking at this handkerchief, admiring it. And all of a sudden in the group, the handkerchief disappeared. And it was all turmoil. Who might have taken this handkerchief belonging to Francisco? And Lucia, being his elder cousin, she went around looking for it, and she found it in the pocket of one boy. The handkerchief was there. But this boy started insisting, it is not his, it is mine. This is my handkerchief. Someone bought it for me. It belongs to me. And Francisco knew that this boy was lying. Lucia knew that this boy was lying. But Francisco pacified Lucia and the others also and told them, why do we quarrel about this handkerchief? Let him keep the handkerchief. My dear friends, this adjustment, forgiveness, understanding, it can impact our lives in a big way. It can make our lives beautiful. And that is what Jesus is teaching us today. Saint Anthony too, he went through so much, but he always remained cool and calm. Let this be an inspiration for us as we participate in this Holy Eucharist. Let us ask for the grace to forgive. Let us ask for the grace to understand. Let us ask for the grace to be patient with everyone around. For this grace, let us pray during this Holy Mass.